Good day, my name is Mark Malore. I'm an attorney here in Riverside, California. I've got a number of clients in Coachella dealing with corporate and LLC structure issues, so I thought it helpful to put together a small video to explain some of the differences for those in Coachella to understand some of the differences and distinctions between them. When we first look to a corporate or LLC structure, we want to look at two different issues. One is the tax liability, and the next is the personal liability we have involved with both those corporate structures. With a corporation, we look from a liability perspective to, is the individual protected from liability for liability purposes? And in both corporations, both a C and an S Corp, you're protected from a liability perspective from personal judgments coming after you. An LLC protects you similarly. You're protected personally from liability for the LLC's acts, with the exception of fraud and deceit. But those are hard cases to prove, and must contain some active conduct on your part. Aside from that, the only difference between the two is the ability of a judgment creditor to attach either stock certificates. With LLC membership shares, the judgment creditor can't attach the actual shares. They have to wait till the LLC makes a disbursement before they can attach monies or properties to the judgment debtor. Now, when we look to the tax perspective, we look to a couple of different things. I know from a tax perspective, LLCs are better for real estate enterprises. But from a liability perspective, there's really no distinction other than one I mentioned. From a corporate perspective, we look to both the C and the S corporation status. And you might ask, what do you mean by C and S corporation? C corporation has a number of exemptions that are allowed to it that are unavailable for an S corporation. A C corporation has no limit to the type of shareholders that can be part of the corporate structure, whereas an S corporation is limited to the number of shareholders it can have, plus the type of shareholders it can have. It can't have corporate shareholders, and it can't have shareholders above 500. For most small business enterprises, that's not really an issue, but it's something you want to consider if you're looking to establish share ownership on behalf of a corporation. An S corp would be unlikely at that point. The next thing we look at in terms of C or S corporation is the taxation. Now, as I said, LLC from a real estate perspective, I think provides more tax benefits to you in dealing with real estate enterprises. But from a corporate structure, an S corporation is taxed singularly, whereas a C corporation is taxed dually. What do I mean by that? A C corporation is taxed twice, meaning this corporation is taxed on the income it derives, and then the money it derives that gets flowed to the owners is taxed again at the owner's individual rate. That's how we get double taxation. With an S corporation, it's much taxed like a partnership, where the money gets taxed singularly, flows through the corporation, the profits go through to the shareholder on a K-1 form, and the shareholder is taxed thereupon. So you're taxed singularly as opposed to dually. Those are some of the quick distinctions I want to make for you. If you have any questions or need any further issues discussed that you're facing, please feel free to give us a call. I'd be happy to sit down with you and discuss those.